It is the day for all of the weapons here in the brand new Dungeon Quest update for Aquatic Temples. Yes, we are showing you every single weapon from Insane and Nightmare, and including the legendaries. We're going to be talking about how much gold they are selling for, their levels, their base damage, and where exactly you can find them. So let's jump straight into the video for today. So sorry that my stream crashed earlier. It crashed mid-stream, everything went crazy, and I had to restart my entire computer. So there's technically 2 streams from today that went live, and I'm sorry if that messed up any of your notifications, but just to put this out there, if you guys are not already subscribed, please do consider subscribing. It is free, and around 70% of my viewers who actually watch my videos aren't actually subscribed, and I would love to try and hit 150,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. So I think it's only fair that we jump into the weapons today. So we have quite a few weapons. We are going to go through all of the insane ones first, then Nightmare, and then the legendary ones, of course, it's just simple like that. So we're going to start off with the first one today, being the Serpent Scimitars. Scimitars. I don't know how to say half of these names, but it's okay, we will butcher it. So the Serpent Scimitars are a warrior weapon in Dungeon Quest, and it specializes in physical damage, having a base average of 6,800,000 damage. The Serpent Scimitars can be upgraded with gold to improve its physical damage, spell power, and sell price, and this item can be obtained from the Aquatic Temple dungeon on insane difficulty and can be sold for a minimum of 90 million gold, but it requires players to be at least 160 in levels to equip it. Oh my goodness, we're at the very start now, and we're going to go through them all very, very quickly. So the second one today is going to be the Sea Staff, and the Sea Staff is a mage weapon in Dungeon Quest, specializing in spell power, having a base average of 6,800,000 damage, and the Sea Staff can be upgraded with gold to improve its mage damage, oh my god, spell power, oh my goodness, and sell price. This item can be obtained from the Aquatic Temple dungeon on the insane difficulty and can be sold for a minimum of 90 million gold, but requires players to be at least level 160 to equip it. I actually kind of like it, but it's really, really close to the legendary, which is kind of upsetting. So the next one is going to be the Aquatic Executioner, and the Aquatic Executioner is a warrior weapon in Dungeon Quest specializing in physical power, having a base average of 7,100,000 damage. The Aquatic Executioner can be upgraded with gold to improve its physical damage, spell power, or sell price, and this item can be obtained from the Aquatic Temple dungeon on insane difficulty and can be sold for a minimum of 90 million gold and requires players to be at least level 160 to equip it. This next one is going to be the Enchanted Sea Axes, and the enchanted hello car that is going past my house right now. But the Enchanted Sea Axes are a mage weapon in Dungeon Quest, and it specializes in spell power, having a base average of 7,100,000 damage, and the Enchanted Sea Axes can be upgraded with gold to improve its physical damage, spell power, or sell price, but I recommend spell power, and the item can obviously be obtained from the Aquatic Temple dungeon on insane difficulty, and can be sold for a minimum of 90 million gold, but requires players to be at least level 160 to equip it. The next one is going to be the Aquatic Scimitars, or whatever it wants to be, and they are a warrior weapon in Dungeon Quest, and they specialize in physical power, having a base average of 8,800,000 damage, and the Aquatic Scimitars can be upgraded with gold to improve its damage, and it can be sold for a minimum of 90 million gold, and requires players to be at least level 160 to equip it, and obviously this item can be obtained from the Aquatic Temple dungeon on insane difficulty. So we are now on to our last insane weapon, which is going to be a mage one called the Aquatic Defender, and the Aquatic Defender is a magic weapon / spell weapon in Dungeon Quest, and it specializes in spell power, having a base average of 8,800,000 damage, and the Aquatic Defender can be upgraded with gold to improve its damage and spell power, and can be sold for a minimum of 90 million gold, and requires players to be at least level 160 to equip it, and only obtainable through Aquatic Temple dungeon on insane difficulty. This one is really weird how it's a mage weapon, but it's also like a shield. I like it, but I do not like it at the same, because I want to see a new attack with like shields in the game. I think that'd be really, really cool. So Now we are on to the nightmare weapons, and we have another 6 weapons for the nightmare ones, and we are going to start with the Serpent Pike. And the Serpent Pike is a warrior weapon in Dungeon Quest, specializing in physical damage, having a base average of, I don't really know. These ones have yet to be really calculated because they are so all over the place, but the Serpent Pike can be upgraded with gold to improve its physical damage, spell power, and sell price, and the item can only be obtained in the Aquatic Temple dungeon on nightmare difficulty, but this can be sold for a minimum of 100 million gold and requires players to be at least level 165 to equip it. And our worst mage weapon for this dungeon is going to be the Enchanted Sea Daggers, and the Enchanted Sea Daggers are a mage weapon in Dungeon Quest specializing in spell power. We do not have a base average damage of this one, unfortunately, but the Enchanted Sea Daggers can be upgraded with gold to improve its physical or spell power damage and sell price, and the item can be obtained from the Aquatic Temple dungeon on nightmare difficulty and can be sold for a minimum of 100 million gold, but requires players to be at least level 165 to equip it. Unfortunately, this same dagger type of in-game is just going to look the exact same as quite a few others, so bear with me, okay? And the next one is going to be the Aquatic Spear. And the Aquatic Spear is a warrior weapon in Dungeon Quest, and it specializes in physical power, having a base average of, I don't really know how much. These are all very mumbled and jumbled all over the place, so if you have a base average of these, put it down in the comment section below. But obviously it can be upgraded with gold to improve its physical damage, spell power, and sell price, and can be attained from the Aquatic Temple dungeon on nightmare difficulty, and can be sold for a minimum of 100 million gold, with a requirement being of level 165 to equip it. This next one, I didn't really like the looks of it at all. This is the Ocean Pearl Staff. This could have been done so much better, just saying. But the Ocean Pearl Staff is a mage weapon in Dungeon Quest and specializing in spell power, and the Ocean Pearl Staff can be upgraded with gold to improve its spell power and sell price. This item can only be obtained from the Aquatic Temple dungeon on nightmare difficulty and can be sold for a minimum of 100 million gold and requires players to be at least level 165 to equip it. So these next two are going to be your best weapons before the legendaries. So if you get these in purple, sometimes they can even be better drops than the actual legendaries themselves. So let's start. This is the Oceanic Greatsword, and this in specific, Oceanic Greatsword, is a warrior weapon in Dungeon Quest, specializing in physical damage, having a base average of around 12 million, they say. The Oceanic Greatsword can be upgraded with gold to improve its physical damage and sell price, and this item can only be obtained in the Aquatic Temple dungeon on nightmare difficulty, and can be sold for a minimum of 100 million gold, and requires players to be at least level 165 to equip it. I really like it, and I really wish this would have been the legendary for the warriors, but you guys will see what the legendaries look like in just a second. So the best mage weapon in the game other than the legendaries is going to be the Enchanted Serpent Daggers. Yes, I'm not even kidding. They look the exact same, just the reversed way around, basically. So the Enchanted Serpent Daggers are a mage weapon in Dungeon Quest, specializing in spell power, having a base average of around 12 million damage as well. The Enchanted Serpent Daggers can be upgraded with gold to improve its spell power and sell price, and this item can be obtained from the Aquatic Temple dungeon on nightmare difficulty, and can be sold for a minimum of 100 million gold, and requires players to be at least level 165 to equip it. So now we are going to be going on to the legendaries. These legendaries, I like them. I really do like them. I really like what you guys did with them. But at the same time, I really wish that the trident was the mage one, because the trident has powers. It's not really like a fighting weapon. As I've always said in this, Dungeon Quest is kind of like Warrior is Mage 2.0, because they don't use their actual like weapons to fight with anymore. They use skills, which I don't really see the point in if you're supposed to be a warrior class and you're being a mage class technically. I don't get it. Maybe you guys can understand down below. But right now we have the Sea King's Trident. And the Sea King's Trident is the legendary melee weapon in Dungeon Quest for the Aquatic Temple dungeon. And it specializes in obviously physical damage, having a base average of 15,200,000 damage. And the Sea King's Trident can be upgraded with gold to improve its physical damage and sell price, and the item can be obtained from the Aquatic Temple dungeon in nightmare difficulty and can be sold for a minimum of 100 million gold, and requires players to actually be level 166 to equip it. So if upgraded only in physical damage, the highest possible potential physical damage of this can be around, what is it, 19 million, whereas the lowest is actually been around like 14 million, which is really upsetting. And then we also have this being one of the 2 legendary weapons obtainable in the brand new dungeon. And now we are going to move on to the mage weapon, and the mage weapon is going to be the Sea King's Greatstaff. Obviously I like the look of it, it's just really weird, I guess. I kind of wish the trident would have been this one, but oh well, you win some, you lose some. So the Sea King's Greatstaff is the legendary mage weapon in Dungeon Quest for the Aquatic Temple dungeon, specializing in spell power, obviously having a base average of 15,200,000, and the Sea King's Greatstaff can be upgraded with gold to improve its physical damage and spell power and sell price if you really want to make it a cursed legendary. And the item can obviously be obtained from the Aquatic Temple dungeon on Nightmare difficulty and can be sold for 100 million gold yet again, and you must be level 166 to equip this. Kind of the same with the warrior one, the pots are around the exact same. It's a very, very balanced update this time around, and obviously this is the second half of the legendary weapons for the brand new dungeon. What is your favorite weapon of this dungeon? What is your favorite weapon in Insane, Nightmare, and which is your favorite legendary? I honestly really love the look of the trident, and I will say I did get a legendary drop today. Right after my stream. I did 2 runs after my stream and I got a legendary drop, but it was the trident, so I had to trade it for a mage one. But now we officially have our first legendary. It is a 16.4 potential, so it's okay. We're gonna get a better one, and we're gonna get some trident armor, so make sure to stay tuned for the armors coming within the next few days. Obviously it's gonna take me a little bit to edit it all together, but yeah, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you guys are brand new to the channel. Also make sure to hit the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a video or start each stream, because we have been streaming every single day, doing a ton of different giveaways and a ton of different nightmare runs, and we're going to be doing carries very soon too, as soon as we have some really good sets. So yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely day or night wherever you guys may be in the world, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Bye guys!